Dave Donahue here with Slaying with Dice, Etten TV's channel dedicated to all things role-playing games. In this episode, we're going to look at some pre-painted miniatures from WizKids, starting with the latest collectible set, Monster Menagerie 3 for Dungeons & Dragons. As you can see, we opened up 2 bricks of miniatures here, that is 16 booster packs, and got a wide variety of miniatures. We're also going to highlight what they call the case incentive figure. In this case, it is the Kraken, which is a pretty cool set too. And we're also going to discuss the promotion that we have going on at Etten Games, where you can actually have a chance to win one of these case incentives. So, for starters, let's look at what you get in a booster pack. Each booster pack comes with 1 large figure and 3 smaller figures. There's a variety in the large figures. There are variants. As you can see, we have some. There's, for instance, with the Frost Giants. There's a Frost Giant A, Frost Giant B, one has a sword, one has an axe. There's also a number of smaller miniatures. And we have gnolls, we have sturges, we have dragonborn fighters, we have Kuatoa. There's several sprinklings here. We have a Triton warrior. So we get a little bit of a sprinkling of a nautical theme, of course, to tie in with the Kraken. And of course, going back to the giant figures, we have the Storm Giants, very much going along with that nautical theme. So let's look at, let's take a closer look at these. I'm going to highlight a few of the cooler looking miniatures here. And then I'll go back and discuss that promotion that we have going on at Etten Games. So for starters, let's look at some of the smaller figures. Right here we have a Gnome Wizard. Now there is 2 variants of this Gnome Wizard, as you can see. Slightly different paint jobs. One is actually hurling what looks to be a flame, some type of flame spell. The other one is hurling a dagger. Now, in the 2 bricks that we opened up, we were lucky enough also to get the invisible variant for this figure. So now you can see you can get, and this is something they do as little chase figures in the sets. A lot of the PC, the character related figures, they do an invisible variant. We have the Human Bard. Notice this Human Bard is kind of rocking out here. Got a cape flowing in the wind, strumming, kind of looks like a guitar. We have a couple of variants kind of going along with that Volo's guide, some monsters, some figures that would be suitable for PC monsters. We have a kobold in here. And this kobold actually has a small pack on and is carrying a sword. So this could actually be a little kobold adventurer. And we have a goblin bearing a torch. And this goblin's actually wearing some robes. The way he's actually dressed out, it could maybe even be a monk. We have a winged kobold. Very nice looking little figure. And we have a Nilbog right here, this little jester-like looking character right here, the Nilbog. We also have the Gray Slod. A very cool flame effect going on here, as you can see. Nice pose with this figure. We have a Gibbering Mouther. It's a classic monster, this Gibbering Mouther. That's a nice looking figure too. And then we get into the Modrons. So they brought the Modrons, introduced the Modrons back recently, and this is a Quadrone. This is a Quadrone figure, so you can start getting your Modrons going. There's a couple of small figures in here, one of which we'll highlight here. We have the Sturge, which is once again, that's another one that's a classic monster, especially for low-level characters and low-level adventures. And we have this Sturge here in flight, as you can see. And then we'll highlight some of these. Let's take a look at some of these larger figures. We have a Cyclops. And I don't recall seeing a Cyclops in any of the recent sets, so this is nice. And I think probably the highlight so far that we've seen, we have a Storm Giant. And this Storm Giant is looking pretty fierce with his lightning style sword, and of course the lightning crackling in his left hand. Looking really nice. But probably the best looking figure, in my opinion, is this Storm Giant Quintessent. The Storm Giant Quintessent, she is drawing lightning, shooting lightning up into the air. She's got lightning coming up from the ground. She's got nice, her armor and robes, the detail on the face, and it's just a really cool looking figure overall. Just this one that's just nice to have displayed on the shelf, even if you don't pull into a game very often. Now, let's look at the case incentive figure. The case incentive figure is the Kraken set. Now, you get the main Kraken here, the main body of the Kraken, really cool water effects as it's coming up out of the depths, and fierce looking, ready to devour your adventurers. Like I said, notice the really cool looking water effects all around the base. And it comes with 6 tentacles. There's 2 of each type of tentacle. Also including with water effects, some nice water effects and nice details on these. Then you get a couple of pieces of terrain. You get a couple of little sandbar islands. You also get a little bit of, looks like a little pirate treasure, a skeleton, and then we have a little treasure chest. A little treasure chest. It has a separate lid that's removable from the chest, and the chest appears to be full of gold. And then, of course, the final little piece here for your adventurers as they flee for their lives from the Kraken is we have the Rowboat. We have this Rowboat right here, including the oars that come off. You can remove the oars, but they do settle down nicely into the oar locks that are on the boat, as you can see. So, let's talk about the promotion that we have going on currently at Eton Games. Currently, for every booster pack that you purchase at Eton Games, you will get 1 entry into a drawing to win a case incentive figure, one of these Kraken case incentive figures. If you buy a brick that is 8 booster packs, you'll actually get 10 entries into the drawing. And the way that we work this is, for every case of booster packs that we sell, we'll introduce another case incentive figure into the drawing. So the more overall that people buy, the more winners we'll have. And we always make sure also that we have multiple winners. So the more you buy, the greater your odds of actually winning one of these. And on top of that, the more people collectively purchase from us, the more that we can actually enter into that drawing. So we can have more winners, multiple winners. Now, the other thing that we do offer is that if you wish to buy a case, which is 4 bricks, if you want to buy a case up front, then what you can do, if you do that, you'll actually receive the case incentive figure for free. That's what we'll do. And that's a $50 value right there, the case incentive figure, the Kraken. So we don't normally sell these, at least initially, because the only way that we're able to order these is every case that we order. So this is what we like to do. We like to have a fun drawing, give everybody a chance to not necessarily buying a case. They can do that. But if you do happen to order a case from us, then we will give you outright, we'll give you one of these case incentive figures. That's part of the deal. And that's basically like saving you 10% off the case, if you look at it from that $50 value. And that promotion is going to be running till the end of April. So on April 28th, actually, which is International Tabletop Day, we'll be doing a drawing for the winners in this contest. So between now and then, whenever you're in games, be sure to pick up a booster pack. There's a lot of cool miniatures in this set, and remember, every time you purchase one, you'll be entered into a drawing to win one of these. It's a great set. Now, what we're going to do, there's been some other recent releases from WizKids, pre-painted miniatures for your RPGs. So now, let's take a look at some of these other recent releases from WizKids. So the next thing we're going to look at here today is the Wardlings miniatures from WizKids. These are pre-painted miniatures. These are not randomly packed. They actually come in blister packs. And these are actually geared towards younger adventurers. Each pack is going to feature a kid adventurer and their animal sidekick and their animal companion. And we have 5 of them here today, but there's actually more available, and there's going to be more down the road. And the nice thing about these miniatures is that they are kids, but they could also be used for certain demi-humans. And the other nice thing is that they have some really cool, the animal companions could be used as really cool familiars for other adventurers. So there's multiple uses that you can get out of these packs. So let's take a closer look at each of the 5 packs that we have here today. For starters, we have the Girl Rogue with Badger. Now, this is a really cool looking figure. She's got a crossbow strapped in her back, studded leather armor, and she's got this nice little badger companion. And she's dual wielding daggers. So she's ready for action. And I mean, honestly, this could really easily be used for a halfling or an elf even at this stature. So there's, I mean, even frankly, for a small-sized adult human female. Now, the next one we have the Boy Fighter with Battle Dog. Now this fighter actually looks, he's got a little bit of a woad going on his head and face. This could really easily be either as a kid adventurer or even be doubled as a, perhaps a dwarven barbarian of some sort. The Battle Dog is pretty funny. It's actually got barding. It looks like a Kelty. What is that? Interesting little dog. Cute. Would be a fun animal companion or familiar for someone. Next we have the Boy Druid with Tree Companion. Really cool looking staff, the antlers on the head, and the spell effect is really, really cool. And of course the Tree Companion that we see here, it's like a little wood golem. The next one that we have is the Girl Wizard with Genie. Now she's casting a spell. There's an arching spell effect over her head. Very nice. And the Genie with its little spell book, it's just a really cool familiar. So this is really, like I said, just neat little figures. Finally, we have the Boy Cleric with Winged Snake. And the Winged Snake actually could just even be, it could be even a small dragon, basically. But the Boy Cleric that we see pictured here, casting a spell, wielding a mace. He's got, obviously, some type of holy, the sun symbol. So, apparently a sun god here. And like I said, once again, Just really, really special figures. Now with these Wardling figures, WizKids has more in the pipeline. They have plans to release more of these in the near future. And these are really great because they give you an opportunity to help draw younger players, kids, into the game. You, of course, can use these to play kid adventurers in your role-playing games. Or if you're trying to bring your child in and introduce them to Dungeons and Dragons or some other fantasy role-playing game, this is a great way to give them a neat embodiment of their hero. And it's, like I said, a great selection. You really can't go wrong adding these to your collection, especially even if you aren't using the kid figures. The familiars are really neat. Now, they are $7.99 a piece, and you can find these, of course, down at Etten Games. We stock these along with other WizKids miniatures, and the ones we covered earlier, for instance, Monster Menagerie 3. And we will, of course, be getting those, be on the lookout for future releases of these Wardlings as we will get those in. Thanks for watching, and we hope that you will subscribe and like us on YouTube, and join us for future episodes of Slaying with Dice on Etten TV. Until then, we hope that you keep on rolling.